Steam Deck, folks. Trying to get down on some Raiden Legacy fighters here. Computer don't want none. Bring it. Oh, you know the computer got they like, oh word, you got something to say? We'll take care of that. Anyway, woo! You're playing Raiden Aces, man. This game is up tempo, fast paced. Gotta assert yourself in this game. Let the computer know, yeah, you are a problem. and of course they're gonna try to. Come on now, y'all know better than that. You try to set me up. All right, let me stop playing here. Oh, by the way, hello viewers. Another beautiful day. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. Yep. Okay, let's see. Oh, Phronixs, where are you at? See, so 21 years on Phronixs. Phronixs.com, 21 years. All right, doing covering Linux hardware. Okay, keep going till death do you part. You know, this is a marriage. You know, just to let you know, it's a marriage. Ain't no walking away from it. Yeah. So keep going. 21 years. Keep going. Covering Linux, man. Keep it up. Listen to this. Making 21 years of covering Linux hardware. Phronixs has made it another year. Today marks 21 years since I started Phronixs.com with a focus on providing Linux hardware review. Linux hardware support is a night and day difference than today, as is the overall ecosystem, with all the major hardware vendors these days having some often significant level of interest in Linux support. No longer is it typically a worry or whether your mouse or 56K modem, Wi-Fi adapter, or other basic peripherals working, but most often just a matter of how well the performance is on Linux. Whether there is a LVFS/FWUPD firmware update support, and if other non-show stopping features are supported, we still haven't managed the year of Linux desktop, but it's been a while with Chrome OS and Android being based on Linux. Linux is coming to dominate the server world. Linux is being, well, not unless Unix got something to say about it. But anyway, it says here Linux being ubiquitous to cloud computing, and Valve revolutionizing the Linux gaming space. Then they say here, during the past 21 years on Phronixs, there have been more than 46,800 original open source / Linux related news articles related and more than 5,400 original Linux hardware reviews, multi-page features articles, 99% of which have been written by myself, primarily due to the changing economic environment for Linux desktop / hardware niche. It says these days we get to enjoy most consumer hardware support out of the box before launch on Linux. Microsoft is even a major contributor to Linux kernel and other open source software. Mesa graphics driver have become a huge success story. Open source GPU drivers have become a striking reality from multiple hardware vendors. There is no longer having to deal with the NDS wrapper or similar for Wi-Fi support. Vendors aggressively optimize Linux for performance thanks to servers / HPC, and there is just so much more to list from how the Linux hardware ecosystem has improved so much over the past 2 years, plus decades. Linux / open source software at large is also much improved over the years. And then it says here, what do we got here? It says here, while Linux hardware support is tremendously better over the past 2+ decades, and much broader OEM / ODM support, as well as more significant Linux use across all areas. Sadly, the web advertising and web publishing space hasn't improved, and worse than the early years, with the rampant use of ad blockers, companies focusing their ads and buys on the likes of YouTube and Facebook and other social networks and video content. Not many organizations interested in advertising exclusively to our Linux desktop focus primarily audience. This remains the biggest pain point and struggle with each passing year. It jives with similar burdens faced by the community-oriented open source maintainers, and it's a daily pain. But I remain stubbornly passionate about Linux hardware. And it says here, if you'd like to show your support for the 21st B-Day of Phronixs, meaning birthday, besides not engaging any ad blockers, the only other valid path for continuing Phronixs is via Phronixs premium subscription. And so what they got here, they got some. Then it says here to enjoy the site ad-free, multi-page articles on a single page, native dark mode, and priority feedback test requests to me. Besides helping the site continue going on, currently is a 21st Phronixs.com B-Day premium special running this week, and then it says through the end of day 9 June. If you wish to go ad-free at a discounted rate, corporate subscriptions or any other custom offers are also available by contacting me. And then it says tips are always welcome, as well as via PayPal or Stripe. And it says thanks for your reading and supporting for the past 21 years of covering Linux hardware on Phronixs. In marking the day, here is a look back at the most popular Linux hardware review and benchmark articles since the last Phronixs birthday. Alright. Well, 21 years. Yeah, keep going, you know. This is there's no end in sight to this, you know. Especially when you're covering computer hardware and Linux. You know, got to keep going with it, you know. It's an endurance game, so got to keep pushing. So good for them, man. You know, to cover Linux, you know. And this article talks about Microsoft being a part of Linux ecosystem, you know, which they did when they started going through those seminars. So yeah, Linux is a good operating system. Now the part that where it talks about where is it? See if I can get it here. Where it says if I can get it, so I can find this little little article here. It says here it says where it says while Linux hardware support is tremendously better over the past 2 decades, and much broader OEMs and ODM support as well as more significant Linux use, sadly the web advertising, web publishing space hasn't improved, and worse, the early years with rampant use of ad blockers. And then it says here companies focusing their ad buys on the likes of YouTube and Facebook and other social networks and video content. Not many organizations interested in advertising exclusively on Linux primarily focused audience. This remains the biggest pain point and struggle with each passing year. And then, well, the way to fix that, you know, it's like give it time. You know, time tells everything. So give it time. As the Linux user base gets bigger, you know, things will change. You know, so give it time. You know, so you know, just because Windows might have a bigger market share, it doesn't mean that Linux is forgotten. So some you know, some advertisers out there as Linux get a user base get big, you know, opportunities will open up. So give it time, you know. So, but as far as like covering Linux hardware, keep it up, you know. This is it's a life. This is a marriage, so it's, you know, till death do you part, you know. So yeah, keep going. 21 years, man. You know, I'm sure there were some struggles, having some up and down moments during those 21 years, but you guys kept it going. So keep it up and keep pushing. Now, what do we got on the comments? Let's see if I got any comments here. We got 19. Let's see here. What do we got? Who's this? Kate Jill said this. Thanks for all the hard work, Michael. And then Larry said this. Thanks for everything, Michael. I've switched to Linux full-time less than 2 years ago, and the journey has been incredibly insightful. I genuinely share the excitement you have for the constant Linux updates and news. And then he said, happy 21 years, and I hope to be there for all the upcoming ones. And he put a smiley face on it. And then Just Think said this. Thanks for the hard work, Michael. This is literally the first website I browse every morning. Yeah. And then said Demirian said this. Thank you, Michael, for the awesome work you've been doing all these years. Then Adrian said this. All the best and cheers up to the better times. Hopefully smooth progress and interesting developments, and there will be beer here for you. if you might travel to the regions again. Stop TCPA software patent and corrupt corrupt politicians. Who was this? Mir said this. Here's for another 21 years of quality Linux news. And then who was this? Samuel said this. He said thanks, and today's my birthday. Put a smiley face on it. And then Lucky said this. Good summary. Linux is always improving. See? And it says you've been a part of it. We Linux users and developers also play a big part. Yeah. And who else is this? And then Dark Star said this. He said, hi Michael, I rarely, if ever, log on and generally just browse the site, but I do want to say happy 21 years doing Phronixs. Word of advice, as last time, I really said much of anything, as when you were undergoing some health issues from pushing yourself, remember to always take care of you. When we say take care of you, you run a great site here, and you can't do so if your health isn't there. This is the one site I visit each day just to get an idea what new out there with Linux. I started using Linux in 2007. It's been great. It's been a great journey, and I have learned a lot of which is because of you and your site. And it says I have watched Linux grow from a hard to use niche system on desktops to having as good or better support than the other major system. It's been a fun ride, and I personally want you to see. I personally want you see you along for it for another 20 plus years, buddy. Stay well and keep up the great work. I may be quiet, but I am very happy for Phronixs. I'm very happy Phronixs exists. Yeah. Yeah, it means that people out there love Linux. Oh, yeah. My introduction to Linux, I think it was Slackware. I've used Red Hat before, but I have gotten, me personally, I got a copy of Slackware Linux. I think it was 3.2, and I was just messing around. Somebody had burned me a copy on a disk, and I was messing around with it, learned the ins and outs of it. Yeah, with no internet. So yeah, so I was checking out everything, see how it works, and loved it. Anyway, who was this? Seraphine said this. Thank you. Your coverage of everything and anything made me dig into a new subject more than once, increasing my knowledge base. And then Mr. P said this. It is my first post, and it is time to say a very big thank you. And then who is this? Phil said this. Thank you for 21 years of high quality journalism about Linux. I have been reading you for a few years, but you are clearly the #1 in Linux hardware testing and overall editorial quality. Being of modest means, I offer you $10 as a tip to thank you and support your work. If you would offer special offers for students, early retirees and the disabled, that would be really great, because people like me in this situation have very little money to live on. Best regards. And then Cyril said this. Really great website, and longevity is a testament to its usefulness and quality. Amazing work. And who else is this? Let's see. Kai Lu said this. Thanks for the great site, Michael. As others have said, one of the first ties I check each day, or first sites I check each day. First learn of this site through Google, searching if this AMD Kabini processor integrated graphics would work with Linux. And this was back in the FGLXR AMD graphics days. Keep up the good work. And who is this? Merleka said this. You are quite prolific with articles, but Phronixs is the only website that I visit that does very poor job with article titles. Can you spend some time checking out proper capitalization, please? For example. Yeah, you look. You always got an English teacher that got something to say. But anyway, what he says, there are even CLI utilities like title case written in Rust to automate the process. And then he said thanks. And then Ottman said this. I am new to Phronixs. When I read the headlines, I was scared this was an announcement for the end of the website. But thank you for doing this great work. I wish you the best of all. And then Combatant said this. Happy birthday. He said happy birthday, and here's more to come. Smiley face. And then who is this? So NATO said this. He says he says no longer is the typical a worrying of whether your mouse or 56K modem, Wi-Fi adapter, or other basic peripheral works. But Snow NATO said this. That is wrong, and you of all people know it well enough. Anyway, man, that is that. So good for Phronixs, man. 21 years. Keep it going, you know. It's a marriage, you know. So Linux is always changing. So I got to keep up with it, you know. Meaning that might need more people to work at Phronixs, you know, to keep up with the change and the tides and the time with Linux, you know. So yeah, and everything that's going on, you know. I mean, I think they got Linux User, Linux Format Magazine. There's a couple others I can't even think of, but when it comes to Linux, and since you're dealing with the operating system, you gotta, the more people you have, to cover Linux, the better, you know. With their expertise on Linux, the better. So good for Phronixs, man. 21 years. Keep it going till death do you part, you know. So yeah. But like one of the commenters said, keep your health in check, which is true. You gotta have good health, man. Gotta have health, when you're doing stuff like this, keeping yourself in good shape to keep up with the changing, keep up with the times and the change and the progress, and the news and information when it comes to Linux, man. But yeah, they do cover a lot, man. So good for the team at Phronixs. So yeah, Good for them, keep going. And yeah, someone donated $10. Good, that helps too, so yeah. Especially as I mean, donation helps too, especially in a time where people are getting laid off right now. I was just on my phone a minute ago, and I think there was news of like PG&E just laid off 7,000 people, and I'm like, so yeah, so this is a marriage, man. So and the thing is too, I mean, when Phronixs with what they do, you don't know who's reading your articles, but they appreciate, but those people that are reading the articles, they appreciate the work that they're seeing, and what's happening in the Linux ecosystem, So yeah, so good for them, man. Keep it up. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy though. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, Star Wars, Star Trek, Bang, Borg, Dark Side. Go. Peace.